Welcome to this Friday afternoon of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I'm Rick Burton here in the broadcast booth, here to deliver you all 3 rounds of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series knockout qualifying. 3 rounds of qualifying that will be determining the starting lineup for Sunday's Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500, the second race of the 2017 season. As we're coming off a fantastic speed weeks from Daytona to kick off 2017, your reigning series champion Brad Keselowski began his year winning his first Daytona 500, but the regular season starts right here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway here in Hampton, Georgia, just 20 miles south of Atlanta. After single car qualifying was used for the Daytona 500 1 week ago, we are returning to knockout qualifying with 45 cars on pit road at the ready for their first run to begin here momentarily. Now, it's been a beautiful but chilly but sunny day here at Atlanta, and for these drivers, they had one practice session to get their cars dialed in for qualifying. We all know that the Atlanta Motor Speedway is a abrasive racetrack that really creates a lot of tire fall off, but NASCAR brought a new tire compound which will hope to let these cars run a little bit more here in qualifying and not have that much fall off speed in qualifying. There'll be a different tire for the race on Sunday. Before we begin qualifying, let's take a look at your practice speeds. We had practice this morning, like we said. Kyle Larson, the fastest, a 27.005 was the quickest lap in practice, and that's a fast lap here for the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, Clint Bowyer, and Jimmy Johnson, the top 5 in practice, followed by Chase Elliott, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, and Jamie McMurray, completing your top 10. We're also going to show you the Go-Go homers and where they ranked up in practice. Remember, we have 10 Go-Go homers for 7 spots, meaning that 3 drivers will not make the show after round number 1 of qualifying. Here is where they were in practice. Landon Castle, the fastest of the Go-Go homers, he was 24th. Brendan Gaughan, 29th. Ryan Reed, 34th, all the way down to Joey Gase, Reed Sorensen, and Josh Wise. And if practice resembles qualifying, that would mean Gase, Sorensen, and Wise would be the 3 drivers who would not make the show. And also, before we go qualifying, let's take a look at your chase grid. Coming out of Daytona, Brad Keselowski, as you see, claimed the victory in the 500, pretty much giving the defending series champion as a berth in the playoffs for the fall. And it'll be a few moments before the cars begin to roll off pit lane and the clock to start ticking. So we're gonna step away for a quick break, and when we come back, the cars will begin to roll onto the speedway for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying from Atlanta. We're back live at Atlanta, and you see cars beginning to make their way onto the speedway. The first car to leave pit road, the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Also leaving pit lane at the same time, the 33 of Ty Dillon, and the 4 of Kevin Harvick in the Jimmy John's Ford. Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, and Ricky Stenhouse also leaving pit lane. Round number 1 of qualifying has already begun, and there'll be 15 minutes for these drivers to post the quickest lap possible here in round 1. It'll be 15 minutes long, and here in round 1, the top 24, that is where you want to be. That is the goal for these drivers at the moment. The top 24 will advance into round 2, and then in round 2, it'll be for 10 minutes, and the 24 drivers will compete to be inside the top 12 to advance into the final round of qualifying to run for the pole in round number 3 for 5 minutes. And we'll talk about the other rounds when they come upon us, but for right now, we're going to just focus on round number 1 as we continue to look at Brad Keselowski, your winner from last weekend at Daytona. Pretty much already knows he'll be running for his 3rd Sprint Cup Series championship in the fall during the playoffs. Right now, Keselowski is currently 2nd quickest, now 3rd, as he makes his way to the line, catching up on a slower car than number 93, Ryan Ellis, one of our Go-Go homers. Now we're talking about Keselowski and Ty Dillon, 2 drivers who are fighting to get inside that top 24 because they are not Go-Go homers. Well, Ryan Ellis and this 93 team is a Go-Go home team, and for right now, Ryan Ellis, from where he was in practice, he was fast enough in practice that he would think he'd be able to qualify his way in, but Ellis needs to qualify his way in on time. And as we are right now or about 12 and a half minutes left in round 1, Brad Keselowski right now is the quickest at a 27.283. And now his Penske affiliated teammate Ryan Blaney jumps to the top of the board at a 27.13. A nice lap by the 21 of Ryan Blaney. And there's the 21 right here in this little pack with Eric Almirola, Chase Elliott, Jamie McMurray, Michael McDowell. Michael McDowell, the 95 for Levon Family Racing right now, 30th quickest, and he picks it up to 23rd. That puts him right now inside the top 24. Eric Almirola, 14th quickest. As they just came across the line, the 24, Chase Elliott now the quickest guy here in round 1, a 27.075. Elliott will be getting ready to make his second career Cup Series start from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now we have 10 going homers like we talked about here in for this weekend at Atlanta, and right now 44 of the 45 cars have been on track already. Only guy who's not taking time yet is the 19 of Carl Edwards. Right now the 55 of Reed Sorensen, we're taking a look at him right now. He's right now 45th quickest, one of our going homers for this weekend in that 55 car. Elliott Sadler drove this car 1 week ago in the 500, got a top 25 finish. Behind him, the 22, Joey Logano, coming off a 5th place finish in the 500 1 week ago. Gave that team a pretty good start to their 2017 season. Right now, Logano is only 16th at the moment on the board. Taking a look at the 14, Clint Boyer now making his way down pit lane. Boyer is currently 20th quickest in that number 14, Gainer Mountain Ford. A new sponsor for Stewart Haas Racing and Clint Boyer and Gainer Mountain coming on board as the primary sponsor in about 3 races here in 2017, beginning here at Atlanta. And we have a lot of stories coming into this weekend at Atlanta, and one of them involves this number 59 car. JTG Daugherty Racing confirmed, team owners Brad Daugherty and Taki Schechter confirmed that they'll be opening up a second team in the Cup Series and select races throughout the 2017 season, beginning here at Atlanta. Brendan Gaughan, Xfinity and Truck Series veteran, has been signed to drive this car in about 6 to 7 races here in 2017 with sponsorship from South Point Hotel Casino. Brendan Gaughan running part-time in the Xfinity Series this season for RCR. Got the car to drive this 59 car, a second team out of JTG Daugherty Racing in about 6 races here in 2017. Right now, Brendan Gaughan, going a homer, is currently 24th, the last car who would advance in round number 2 should things stay the same. So right now, as Brendan Gaughan looks pretty good at making the show, it is a completely different story at the moment for the 32 of Joey Gase, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders. Joey Gase right now 43rd quickest in his Donate Life Ford for Go Fast Racing. Joey Gase failed to qualify for the 500 1 week ago, and right now he doesn't appear to be quick enough to qualify his way into the show for Sunday's race. Another going homer, the 35 of Ryan Reed. Spring Up Series Rookie of the Year contender right now, 28th quickest. A pretty good lap by Ryan Reed. That'll pretty much help him make the show for Sunday. Another story we want to take a look at is involving the 98 car. This is Ryan Sieg. Ryan Sieg looking to make his Spring Cup Series debut on Sunday, driving for Jay Robinson and Premium Motorsports. Pretty cool deal put together here with Tri-Country Landscape coming on board as the primary sponsor. Sieg, a Xfinity driver, doesn't really have the best equipment. You know, he drives for a family-owned team, a low budget, not a lot of funding, but he gets a lot out of these cars. And we're running full-time in the Xfinity Series again here in 2017. Trying to make his Cup Series debut, and right now he's only 44th quickest. Scratch that 45th quickest now out of the 45 cars that have now taken time, and we are right now under 8 minutes remaining. Right now, Joey Gase, Ryan Sieg, and the 30 of Josh Wise are the bottom 3 going to homers as we take a look at Josh Wise right now 43rd. in the Incredible Bank Chevrolet. The Motorsports Group owned by Curtis Key got sponsorship from Incredible Bank. Trying to hope that would get help this car get into the show. Right now, he is not far off from making the show, but he needs a little bit more speed if he wants to qualify for Sunday's race. But if he wants to pick it up, he may have to knock this guy out of the show, the 26th of Jeffrey Earnhardt. This is a team that was not even supposed to run this weekend at Atlanta. Starter came on board as a primary sponsor for BK Racing. Earnhardt got the call to come drive this car this weekend. Right now, he is 42nd quickest. Right now, he is in the show, but not by much, over Josh Wise. His BK Racing teammate Ryan Ellis, another Rookie of the Year contender, right now 41st quickest. He is right now not far ahead of Earnhardt or Josh Wise. So should Earnhardt or Wise and Gase, should they pick it up, that could bump this 93 car out of the field. And let's go and look at the top of the board right now. The 21 of Ryan Blaney. He is still the quickest in his Motorcraft Ford for the Wood brothers. Nice lap early on. Behind him, the 77 of Eric Jones right now. Only 23rd quickest. Expected him to be a little bit quicker here in qualifying. Coming off a top 5 finish in the 500. Right now, the 19 of Carl Edwards. Currently 2nd quickest in that number 19. No surprise there. And the fastest man in practice was the 42 of Kyle Larson. Right now, he's showing that he does have the speed. Right now, 3rd quickest in that 42 car. Looking through the top 20, Eric Almirola, Casey Kane, Jamie McMurray, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones has now picked it up to the top 15. Clint Boyer, Ryan Newman, Kyle Busch, AJ Allmendinger, and Michael McDowell. Right now, the bubble driver at the moment is the 6. That is Trevor Bayne. And, Trevor Bayne right now, he is 24th quickest. The last car who would advance. And right now, he would advance by 5/1000th of a second over a fellow Ford driver Regan Smith. But look at on this ticker, look at some of these big names we see who are currently on the outside looking in. How about Kevin Harvick? The dominant car in the 500 last week, only 26th quickest here in round number 1. This is a driver we expect to be in the final round, running for the pole right now. He's only 26th quickest in the number 4 car. Greg Biffle, another pretty big name. KFC on board this weekend for Greg Biffle right now, only 27th on the board for him. And it's not even that any better for Ricky Stenhouse Jr., his Roush Fenway teammate right now, 30th quickest for him. And also, there's another guy we saw on the outside looking in. There he is, the 78, Martin Truex Jr., 35th quickest with this Denver Mattress Toyota Camry. Not sure what's going on with the speed of this 78 car. This is a car we expect to be running for the pole as well. And right now, he's barely inside the top 35 here in round number 1. And I've noticed that throughout this session, as we are almost 4 minutes left in round 1, it seems like the drivers who are running in like a little pack or like a little group like this, 4-car group with Edwards, Kane, Larson, Dale Jr., they're all at the top of the board, like Edwards 2nd, Larson 3rd, Jr. 4th. But then you got guys who are running by themselves, like maybe a Denny Hamlin, 17th quickest. You have Truex running by himself, 35th. You have Joey Logano, only 24th quickest. Looks like Bayne has been bumped from the top 24, as Logano now on the bubble. Trying to see who was, and that was the 4 of Kevin Harvick who jumped inside the top 10. So big pickup by the 4 of Kevin Harvick. Him getting into that top 10 has now bumped Trevor Bayne on the outside of the top 24. And that now pushed the 22 of Joey Logano on the bubble to advance. It's Logano, Austin Dillon, Brian Vickers, and Michael McDowell. That is the bottom 4 inside the top 24. As these guys are going around the 46 of David Reagan, a new sponsor on board, Sweet Frog, for the Harry Scott entry. 3 minutes remaining now. There's Chris Buescher, 35th quickest at the moment. AJ Allmendinger, 20th. Matt Kenseth, Mobile 1 on board for the 20 of Matt Kenseth, 8th quickest. David Gillen, another going homer right now, 41st. And at the moment, it is still Josh Wise, Ryan Sieg, and Joey Gase, your bottom three, as they are right now the three drivers who would not make the show. Right now, Ryan Ellis, the last car who would qualify for the event. Now, a new change to knockout qualifying, like a new rule for a knockout qualifying this year, is that when the clock hits 0, right here on this little clock we have, it says 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining. When this clock hits 0, practice is over, and these drivers will not be able to complete their the lap they're on. Even if they're coming right out of turn 4, they will not be able to complete their lap. Their laps are locked in to the system, and we will go ahead and get ready for round 2. So we will no longer letting cars make the way back to line, because the way practice in this game works, it just causes a lot of problems. So right when the clock hits 0, pretty much these ticker will freeze, and that will be it for who advances to the next round and who will not make the show. And right now, Martin Truex Jr., 36 quickest, a big shock for a guy like Truex, who we would expect to be at the top of the board right now. And how about Kevin Harvick? Kevin Harvick to the top of the board in that number 4 car. So this Jimmy John's Ford has found some speed here in the final minutes of round 1. Kevin Harvick was 26th, then he got up inside the top 10, and now he is the fastest man in round 1 at the moment. The Jimmy John's Ford dominated Daytona, and now starting to pick up where he left off, right now at the top of the board. 53 seconds remaining. Here's the 1, Jamie McMurray. But we're going to keep an eye on this top 24, Joey Logano. Let's go and find that 22 of Joey Logano. And he is done. He's coming to pit road, so he will not be able to go back out, as we only have 35 seconds remaining. So Logano just has to hope and pray that nobody jumps inside. Trevor Bayne, 25th. Regan Smith, Greg Biffle. A lot of Fords are really struggling. We have all three of the Rouse Fords on the outside looking in. We have the Ford of Regan Smith. We have the Ford of Logano back here. The front row cars are back here. The only Ford who seems to have any speed is Brad Keselowski and Eric Almirola. They're inside the top 15. As 4, 3, 2, 1. That will complete round 1 of qualifying for the NASCAR Spring Up Series at Atlanta. And what that means is that the 3 drivers who will not make the show, the 30 of Josh Wise, he will not qualify for this weekend's race. Let's take a look at Josh Wise. He'll be 43rd quickest. He will not advance to the race. The 98 Ryan Sieg will not be able to make his NASCAR Spring Up Series debut this weekend, as he'll be 44th quickest. He will not make the show, and neither will the 32 of Joey Gase. Those are the 3 drivers who will not make the show, and they have failed to qualify for the Fords of Honor QuikTrip 500 here from Atlanta. So that will complete round number 1. And now we will move on to round number 2. When we come back, we'll have the results from round 1 on your screen. But we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here from Atlanta for round number 2 of knockout qualifying from Atlanta. Welcome back here to Atlanta, as we are now has just wrapped up round number 1 of NASCAR Spring Up Series knockout qualifying. We have now figured out which 24 drivers have advanced in round 2 and who do not advance in round 2, and we'll start 25th on back. And let's take a look at the drivers who will not advance in round number 2, led by the 6 of Trevor Bayne. He does not advance at a 27.291. Misses it by a couple of hundredths of a Joey Logano, Regan Smith, 26, Greg Biffle, Brendan Gaughan, Michael Annett, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Brendan Gaughan was the fastest of the go homers in 20th place. But the biggest thing we see, how about the 78, Martin Truex Jr., 36 quickest. A 27.390 was Truex's lap over, but not really far off from what Erie Jones, when these lap times are so close together. Erie Jones was 10th quickest, a 27.104. Truex a 27.390. So A lot of close lap times here in qualifying, but it was not enough for Martin Truex Jr. to advance. And see the three drivers who failed to qualify: Josh Wise, Ryan Ellis, and a 32 of Joey Gase. Now let's take a look at the drivers who will advance in round number 2. The 4 of Kevin Harvick had the last minute. In the last couple of minutes, he jumped to the top of the board, leading Ryan Blaney, Carl Edwards, Kyle Larson, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Top 5, Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Brad Keselowski, and Eric Jones, your top 10. And that is the speeds from round number 1. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we'll have all 24 cars now beginning to roll onto the track as round 2 coming your way in just a moment. Round number 2 begins here as the clock is now rolling. These drivers have 10 minutes to make their way into the top 12 so they can run for the pole in round number 3. Austin Dillon, the first car onto the track in the Dow Corning Chevrolet out of Richard Childress Racing. Running double duty this weekend. He was 23rd quickest here in round number 1. He just barely made the second round. Let's see if he can do any better here in round 2. Matt Kenseth on track, the 20 car. He was 8th quickest. Michael McDowell, a nice running qualifying in round number 1, 21st. They are now on track. The first 3 drivers to make their way onto the track: Dillon, Kenseth, and McDowell. It is a packed weekend here. We have all 3 of NASCAR's top 3 touring series here. We have the NASCAR Spring Up Series racing Sunday, but tomorrow the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the Camping Road Truck Series doubleheader here from Atlanta. A doubleheader, both races on the same day. We'll have Xfinity competition tomorrow afternoon, and we'll have the truck race tomorrow night here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Is right now the 20 of, or actually the 95, Michael McDowell, the quickest. The first 4 drivers who have now taken time: McDowell, Kenseth, Elliott, Dillon, and Keselowski. Michael McDowell and this 95 team, they are looking for to have a great year here in 2017. Got to have a alliance with Levine Family Racing. But his fast time did not hold up that much longer as the 20 now to the top of the board. Matt Kenseth debuting with new sponsor Mobile One this weekend, as he is now the quickest man here, and now quickly bumped down to 3rd as the 24. Chase Elliott tops Kenseth, and now Elliott's now the quickest guy, followed by Brad Keselowski, who's now 2nd. Brian Vickers right now inside the top 12. He is 11th quickest, but now Kenseth back to the top of the board in the 20 car. Mobile One left Stuart Haas Racing after 2016. Moved to Joe Gibbs Racing here in 2017 to sponsor Kenseth, and he saw him there in the Tigger. Elliott back to the top of the board in the 24, a 27.227. That is not as fast as what he ran here in round number 1, though. He ran a 27.075 in round number 1. 15th quickest right now for Dale Earnhardt Jr. as the new guy on point, the 3 of Austin Dillon now the quickest. There's Dillon. Quickly bumped down to 2nd as Elliott continues to top him at a 27.192. Denny Hamlin jumps to 2nd. Gavin Harvick, fastest man in round number 1. 10th quickest here on his 4th lap. And 2 drivers who have yet to take a time: Ty Dillon and Eric Almirola. And Almirola just completed his 1st lap. Right now 24th quickest as Dillon jumps to 20th. Dillon now 5th as, let's take a look again at the 24 of Chase Elliott. Right now, there he is, fastest man. And how about Brian Vickers now 2nd quickest in that Haas Automation Ford out of Stuart Haas Racing. Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Austin Dillon. Jimmy Johnson now jumps to 2nd, that 48 car. Great lap by the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Right behind teammate Chase Elliott on the ticker. It's Elliott, Johnson, Vickers, Hamlin, and Keselowski, followed by Ryan Blaney, Austin Dillon, Casey Kane, Dale Jr., and A.J. Allmendinger. All 4 Hendrick Chevrolets inside the top 9. Under 6 minutes remaining. Logano, who was 24th in round 1, 10th quickest, now bumped to 13th for Logano. Kyle Busch right now 14th quickest in his Snickers Toyota Camry. Eric Almirola 21st Clint Boyer now inside the top 10, 10th quickest. Ryan Newman 12th. Casey Kane up to 7th. Now down to 9th as Logano has jumped up inside the top 5 now. So they have found some speed in his Penske Ford. Logano now 4th quickest at a 27.137. And now the 48 tops Elliott at a 27.103. That lap by Jimmy Johnson is quicker than what he ran in round number 1. So Johnson has picked it up as Logano now top of the board. A 27.097 for Joey Logano. Kurt Busch now inside the top 5. He's 5th. Ryan Blaney is 4th. Matt Kenseth, he was quickest at one point in the session. He's now 18th. Michael McDowell 22nd. Right now, the 19 of Carl Edwards. He was very fast in round 1, but he has not really found any speed here in round number 2. He remains in 24th place, the slowest car here in round 1. Kevin Harvick, he was the fastest in round 1. He's only 23rd quickest. And what we're seeing again is the drivers who are in these little groups, a pack like this, Blaney, Logano, Kurt Busch, and Dillon, they're a lot quicker than what we see guys like Carl Edwards and Kyle Larson. AJ Allmendinger and McMurray not that fast to make the way into the top 12. Right now the top 12 is concluded by the 43 of Eric Almirola. Almirola was on pit road. Now he is leaving pit lane to make one more attempt here in round 2. It appears a 27.158 is the lap you have to beat if you want to challenge for the pole. Right now, Denny Hamlin on track trying to do so, racing Dale Earnhardt Jr. Both are right now on the outside of the top 12. Is Hamlin 13th, Ryan Newman, and Clint Boyer. Dale Jr., Kyle Larson, Allmendinger, Kenseth, and McMurray. Eric Jones, Edwards, McDowell, and Kevin Harvick. Brad Keselowski right now 11th quickest in his Miller Lite Ford. Chase Elliott remains in 3rd as Logano is still the quickest at a 27.097. Under 3 minutes remaining here in round number 2. Remember, this is a 10-minute session. Round 3 will be only 5 minutes. So round 3, it's go or, well, it's either, go for the pole or not go at all, because it's only going to be 5 minutes in round number 3 as Kyle Busch, right in front of the 48 Jimmy Johnson, two former champions right here, a 6-time champion and a 1-time champion of Kyle Busch. Another name I see inside the top 10 is the 33 of Ty Dillon. A nice lap by the 33 of Ty Dillon. The RCR cars seem to have some speed this weekend. All 3 cars are inside the top 14 with Ryan Newman in 14th and Austin Dillon, who is currently 6th. So nice lap by the 33 of Ty Dillon. But the 43 of Eric Almirola is still the last car right now in position to advance. Under 2 minutes remaining here now in round number 2. Yeah, 24 cars go out on track right now. The fastest man in round 1, like we say, Kevin Harvick. Not really fast now here in round 2. But now this is really the point in round 1 where we saw Harvick find a lot of speed. And now he's in a little group with Allmendinger and McMurray. Can Harvick make one more go at it and try to make his way into the top 12? May want to get on that inside line, the shorter way around the track. That may be a good move for Kevin Harvick if he wants to try to make any more ground to get inside the top 12 and beat Eric Almirola, who is currently 12th quickest. The 1, Jamie McMurray, 11th quickest in round number 1. He's right now 20th on the board. 58 seconds remain for Eric Almirola. Can he hang on? Keselowski, Kyle Busch, Casey Kane, and Ty Dillon. Those are the bottom 5 in the top 12. Kyle Larson, he was very quick in round 1. Unable to really find speed here in round 2. Kevin Harvick, 24th quickest. Last time by was his fastest lap, and now he jumps up to 23rd. 27 seconds remain now for Harvick. From being the slowest guy in of the top 24 in round 1 to right now being the fastest guy here in the top 24 in round 2, Joey Logano 15 seconds away. Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Kurt Busch will come across the line. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That will be it for round number 2 of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Knockout Qualifying from Atlanta. Now it looks like that will mean that the 22 of Joey Logano will win round number 2 of NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Knockout Qualifying here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Logano will advance with a 27.097, putting him the fastest man as we go into round number 3 and run for the pole. Jimmy Johnson second, Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, and Kurt Busch. Now let's take a look on your screen. The drivers who will not advance into round number 3 and run for the pole begins with Denny Hamlin 13th, and Denny Hamlin missed round 3 by 1/1000th of a second over Eric Almirola. Almirola had a 27.158, Hamlin had a 27.159, and that will keep Hamlin from running for the pole in round number 3. Ryan Newman will not advance, neither does Clint Bowyer. Dale Earnhardt Jr., the only Hendrick Chevrolet who fails to advance. Kyle Larson, AJ Allmendinger, Kevin Harvick, who picked it up to 19th quickest right at the very last moment. And the 20 of Matt Kenseth does not make it in. Jamie McMurray, Eric Jones, Carl Edwards, and Michael McDowell, they will not advance. And you see 3 Joe Gibbs cars will not advance. The only one who does, Kyle Busch, who was 10th quickest. And now we see the drivers who will advance. Logano, Johnson, Elliott, and so on. So that is all for round 2. We're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, round 3 will begin right here from Atlanta. Welcome back here to Atlanta, and the clock is now rolling as round 3 is underway for NASCAR Sprint Cup Series qualifying for Sunday's Folds of Honor QuikTrip 500. We just finished up round 2. Joey Logano, the first choice either on pit road, was the fastest man in round number 2 at a 27.097. Now we're going to see if Logano can back up his time and grab the pole, as he won 6 poles 1 year ago. And the first guy you see leaving pit lane will be the 24 of Chase Elliott and the 3 of Austin Dillon. Now you see the number 10, Brian Vickers, and teammate Kurt Busch leaving pit road together. Now remember, in rounds 1 and 2, it seemed like the drivers who were in like a little pack, a little group, ran faster than what they were from what the drivers ran by themselves in a single car run. Right now I see the 24 Chase Elliott and the 3 of Austin Dillon right close together. Brian Vickers and Kurt Busch, they came out a little bit at the same time, but Busch, you see, has lost ground on his Stewart Haas teammate Brian Vickers. Joey Logano on track, the 22, but right now is Austin Dillon in the best seat to win the pole. There are already almost 3 minutes left here in round number 1, and nobody has posted the time yet. It's Chase Elliott, Dillon, Kane, Ty Dillon, Vickers, Kurt Busch, Logano, Blaney, Almirola, Johnson, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski. Those are the 12 drivers who made it into the final round of qualifying. And right now the fastest man at the moment is Austin Dillon, a 27.593. That is the lap you have to beat if you want to win the pole for Sunday's race. Dillon, Elliott, Kurt Busch, Logano, and Vickers, your top 5 at the moment. Elliott tops Dillon, but Dillon tops Elliott, so Dillon stays the quickest at a 27.292. He's right on the bump with that 24. Logano not far away from the bumper, the 18 of Kyle Busch. Could this be an advantage for the 22 of Joey Logano? It certainly can't be no disadvantage. Right now Logano is 4th quickest, and Dillon stays the fastest, a 27.202 to a 27.258. A great strategy by Austin Dillon to stay on the back bumper of this Hendrick Chevrolet and Chase Elliott. Kurt Busch now 3rd, Logano to 2nd. Here comes Logano now, all the way up to 2nd quickest at a 27.254. He's not really far off from what Austin Dillon ran, but Kyle Busch 9th quickest, helping Logano. Elliott jumps back up to 2nd quickest. And this lap should be even quicker for Joey Logano. They come from turn 4. Can Logano get enough draft and get the pole away? He picks it up, but not by much. He stays 3rd quickest. And there's Austin Dillon. Chase Elliott, the feature of our sport right here. The grandson of Richard Childress. The son of Hall of Famer Bill Elliott. Or soon to be Hall of Famer Bill Elliott. What Elliott should do is try to let Dillon in the 3 car go and get in behind the 3. How about Eric Almirola now? He is caught in the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, so could Almirola become another story in the mix to get the pole? A 27.325. He is right now 6th quickest as Kyle Busch jumps up to 4th. Now Brian Vickers in a little draft now with Ty Dillon. Could Vickers become another threat for the pole? But it's still Austin Dillon at the moment. Chase Elliott, Logano, Blaney, and Kyle Busch. Johnson right now 10th quickest. Almirola picks it up to 6. What can Vickers do? Picks it up to 5th quickest. Johnson up to 4th. 14 seconds remain. And there is demand for Austin Dillon on pole, waiting for the time to expire in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That will end NASCAR Spring Up Series qualifying. And that means the number 3 of Austin Dillon will start on the pole for Sunday's Foes of Honor QuikTrip 500 from Atlanta. I believe this is Austin Dillon's 4th career NASCAR Spring Up Series pole, and there he is. Austin Dillon, he will lead the field down the green in Sunday's Foes of Honor QuikTrip 500. Austin Dillon on the pole, alongside the 24, Chase Elliott, the feature of our sport, on the front row, and they'll lead us to green in the 2nd race of 2017. That will wrap up NASCAR Spring Up Series qualifying from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Next on track activity will be NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying here tomorrow morning, followed by Truck Series qualifying. And then we'll have the Xfinity and Truck race tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night, and then we'll have the Cup race on Sunday. So now let's take a look at your full starting lineup for the Foes of Honor QuikTrip 500. A 27.153 is the pole winning lap time set by Austin Dillon. Chase Elliott 2nd, Logano 3rd, Ryan Blaney, and Jimmy Johnson will be your top 5, followed by Brian Vickers, Eric Almirola, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and Ty Dillon. Your top 10, Brad Keselowski and Casey Kane ended up round 3, 11th and 12th place. Outside the top 12, you have Denny Hamlin, 13th on down to the 95 of Michael McDowell. Those are the drivers who made it in the round 2 but failed to get out of round 2. And then 25th on down, Trevor Bayne, Regan Smith, Greg Biffle, Brendan Gunn, Michael Annette, all the way down to Reed Sorensen, Jeffrey Earnhardt, David Gillen, and Ryan Ellis, the drivers who will compete in Sunday's race here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. The 3 drivers who do not qualify: Josh Wise in the 30, Ryan Sieg in the 98, and Joey Gase in the 32. So that is all the coverage here from NASCAR Spring Up Series qualifying. We'll see you tomorrow morning for NASCAR Xfinity Series qualifying here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Congrats to the 3 of Austin Dillon on securing the pole for the Foes of Honor QuikTrip 500 here at Atlanta. Goodbye, everyone.